They're hitting a high note in Hot Topics, from American Idol going gaga last night, to a mom who gave her 8-year-old Botox injections. And before you hit the beach this summer, find out if you're too old to put on that bikini. Plus, Grey's Anatomy star Ellen Pompeo is letting you in on secrets of the season finale cliffhanger and taking on rumors she's leaving the show. Then, Chaz is sharing how he grew up knowing he was born the wrong sex. What finally made him take steps to live as a man? And if his mom Cher has accepted the fact her daughter is now her son. And the smash hit musical Anything Goes is nominated for 9 Tony Awards. And you'll find out why when the cast performs on our stage. All that, Hot Topics and more, coming up live on The View.
Knowing you were born in the wrong body and dealing with it under the microscope of Hollywood celebrity. That was the life for Chaz Bono, and his struggle to right nature's wrong is chronicled in a new book, Transition, the story of how I became a man. Please welcome for the first time on The View, Mr. Chaz Bono. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Chaz, we all remember you in the 70s on the Sonny and Cher show when you were 2 years old.
Yes.
An adorable. There you are. Look at you, a little adorable little girl. At what point did you say to yourself, you know, this is not me. I'm different from that little girl?
Probably. I mean, I never felt like that little guy. I don't really have a lot of memory of it, but as soon as I do have memory, at about 5 maybe, I knew that wasn't me. And I do remember at some point going to wardrobe on the Sonny and Cher show and saying no more dresses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you can see if you watch the later ones that I'm in pants all the time.
You also said in one of the shows, maybe I saw it in the documentary, where you say, I want to grow up to be big and strong like my daddy. You don't say, you know, beautiful and talented like my mommy.
It's true.
Right. So there were little hints, and you were very, very young there.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Barbara did her special on this. She interviewed young children who really had the knowledge at ages like 5, 3, 4. And, you know, it was in 1987 that I read, you came out as a lesbian to your parents, right? But then you realized that wasn't the complete thought. Like, there was more to this, right?
So, you know, it was like a confusion. I mean, when I was really little, it was pretty clear that I felt like a boy. And then I grew up and hit puberty, and expectations were on me, and I wanted to be normal and fit in, and so I thought, okay, I am attracted to women, so I must be a lesbian.
Is it more, for the kids who have this understanding of themselves young and then hit puberty, is that the most difficult time when your actual physical development is really not matching what you feel like on the inside?
I think so. I mean, for me, it was incredibly difficult, and it set up like a difficult life after that.
So 3 years ago, you started the process of becoming a man. Can you take us through that process?
The physical part of it?
Yes.
Yes. It's really just hormone therapy. And then about 6 months into that, I had what we call top surgery, or the, you know, removal of my breasts and the reconstruction.
Was there anything you went through emotionally?
It's scary. Women get like, you know, when they hear that.
My breast.
And the reconstruction of a male chest. It was, you know, elation, I felt. I really did. For me, as soon as they started to grow, they just felt so wrong on my body. And
this was during that puberty time.
Yes, so during that puberty time. And it was, you know, it was just like, wow, what my body just did exactly the opposite of what I wanted it to do. And you brought up the Barbara special, and that had a really profound effect on me, actually. I write about it in the book. At that point, I was doing everything to try to ignore this. And a friend of mine called me and said, oh, you gotta watch this. It's really great. And it was like, I watched it, and I was like, God, you know, these kids are doing it. I've got to do this. And it was, you know, it was just such a struggle.
I want to backtrack, but you mentioned that, and it brings me to, there's a campaign online called It Gets Better, right? Are you part of that?
Yeah, I did a video for that.
Can you tell everybody about it? Because I think getting that message across to kids is important.
It Gets Better was just kind of a real grassroots campaign that happened on the internet, where all different people shot a video talking about how if you're different, or, you know, when you're young, it feels like the end of the world, and it was really about how kids were being bullied and committing suicide. And so it was a real cry to say, hang in there, because when you get older, it gets better.
So, did you go public with this? I know you're very private normally. So did you go public with all of this because of these other kids and other people?
I think I went public because I can't do anything privately.
Yeah.
And so,
Your mother.
yeah,
and father.
and so if I tried to be private about it, it would have just turned into a huge, tabloid mess. So I wanted to take control of the story, tell it my way, and then I thought, I can really help people in the process.
Chaz, you just did a documentary called Becoming Chaz.
Yes.
Cher was on that, your mom, and she said, I was so nervous I hadn't seen her, and I was putting it off. At some point, I'm going to have to start calling her him, and it doesn't seem comfortable. She also said that it was really traumatic for her because she wished she had taped your voice when you were a woman, or when you were a girl, because she will never hear that voice again.
Yes.
So when you heard her saying all of these things, how did that make you feel?
I understood. I mean, I know that this is a difficult process for parents, and it took me 40 years to do this. It's going to take her some time to adjust to it, and I've always just kind of tried to allow her to have her process in this.
How's she doing right now?
Does she see you as sorry? Does she see you as her daughter, or does she see you as her son at this point today?
Boy, you know what? I haven't asked her that, so I think she's starting to see me as her son. I really do. I mean, she's definitely starting to get better with the pronouns, and I think she's
She needs pronoun therapy.
so yeah, I think she is starting to get it. The thing that I think she's really gotten, and it took a little while, but I think she's gotten really how happy I am and how comfortable I am for the first time, and that's what any parent wants.
Did she just throw a little gathering for you recently?
Well, she screened the movie and had some people over and really enjoyed it, and they enjoyed it. It's, I'm very proud of the film. It's a really good film.
I have to ask you one more question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, you've had the top surgery, but not the bottom.
Yes.
Right.
I have two questions for
Okay.
you. Why not the bottom?
Okay.
And what happens when you go to a restaurant? Which bathroom do you use?
I use the men's room, of course. I mean,
Okay.
if I walked into the ladies' room, ladies would probably get scared or freaked out, right? So, yeah. Okay, so why not the bottom surgery? At this point, the surgery is not very good. It's very expensive, and it doesn't work very well, and I'm just not going to end up, for going through all of that, and it's a big ordeal, I'm not going to end up with something that I really want, or that will function the way I want it to.
Now, your
It's
girl-
dangerous too. Sorry.
So I'm waiting and hoping that the technology, medical advances will get better and do it then. It's something I'd like to do.
Your girlfriend Jennifer, I'm sorry, Chaz. Now, your girlfriend Jennifer, who is also in the documentary, when you guys first got together, it was a lesbian relationship. I don't. You tell me if I'm saying this
Okay,
wrong.
no, you're not.
But
It
now
was
you're
technically,
a man.
Right.
So Jennifer, did she have any problems with this because she's now with a man? So it's kind of a heterosexual relationship. Am I saying this correctly?
No, you are. Jenny, our relationship, and I think we say in the it never really. I mean, I always, when I met Jenny, I told her about this, and so she knew that I felt like a man internally. So it was, it was never totally traditional lesbian relationship, but Jenny identifies as bisexual, and so we didn't have that kind of struggle, but we did. I mean, it was a big change, and she hadn't been in a really long-term serious relationship with a man in a long time, and we can be jerks.
But
So
every relationship is a process, right? And it
Absolutely.
takes progress. So we want to thank you, Chaz, for being here. We are happy that you are happy. Our thanks
Thank
to
you
Chaz
so much.
Bono. Members of our audience are going home with a copy of Chaz's book, Transition. We'll be right back.